Hey there, Parkinson's warrior. Today I want to talk a little bit about deep brain stimulation surgery. Actually, this last December, I had deep brain stimulation surgery, DBS, here in Amsterdam. I'm going to talk a little bit about the process, why I decided to do it. I'll show you some of the toys that came along with the surgery. It'll be pretty cool, so stick around. If you like this video, subscribe and watch some other of my videos. I got a lot more to come, and here we go. So I've been thinking about having DBS surgery for the last couple of years now, and the timing has just not been right. Last year, in December 2017, we decided to move to Amsterdam for my wife's work, and also just because I heard that DBS systems here are a little bit more advanced in the United States. Up until then, we'd had only the Medtronic devices in the US, and here in Europe, they had things from Boston Scientific and St. Jude, and they were pretty experienced with them as well. So I decided I want to come here and get it done here instead of in the US. The problem was that there was a long waiting list. You know, with socialized medicine, a lot of times they don't have the resources they need, the nurses, so on and so forth. So the wait was pretty long. It was not as long as it could have been. They said 18 months could have been. I actually waited about 9 months from the first movement disorder specialist visit to surgery. And my surgery date was December 6th, 2018, and they turned me on. You can see my hair is a little bit of a mess. I'll talk to you more about that in a second. But they turned me on December 18th, and they did some initial programming, and things look good. So what I did was I got the Boston Scientific kit, the Gevia battery and simulator, which is a rechargeable battery, and it's pretty small. It's right here. I won't show you because it's not that kind of channel, but I have it in here. It's like the size of about 3 or 4 half-dollar coins stacked on top of each other. You can feel it, barely feel it here, but it's not that bad. And so it's rechargeable, and it's long-lasting, so it's ready to last up to 25 years. So I'm 40 right now. Chances are that I can wait until I'm 65 before I have another surgery to replace my battery. That's great because people with the Medtronic and the non-rechargeable battery have to get it redone every couple years, 2-3 years. So it's great to be able to have something that's rechargeable. And if I maintain a lower amperage or lower voltage, the battery lasts a lot longer. So worst case scenario, if my Parkinson's gets really bad, I have to turn it up a lot, maybe about 15 years. So when I'm 55, I'd have another surgery, just outpatient procedure to replace the battery and the stimulator. By then they'll probably have something new, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have a cure for Parkinson's. But this basically helps me until then to have that. So I have the Gevia system from Boston Scientific. It's part of the Vercise directional lead placement leads. So what that means is that they have these leads that basically instead of applying an electrical effect to the entire brain in that area where the lead is, you can make it directional. So it has 3 or 4 directions that it can go into. So, for example, if they turn on the stimulator and you're experiencing really bad side effects, like when they were programming me on the 18th, I felt like I was going to faint at one point. And they said, well, we can go back in there and use the directional parts of the lead to avoid the area that makes you want to faint and give you the treatment or the therapy in the part of the brain that won't make you want to faint and that will actually improve symptoms. I was very fortunate because I got to choose a lot of the things in my surgery. In the US, I probably wouldn't have had to choose so many things, but here I got to choose being under general anesthesia, so I was asleep during the whole procedure. In fact, they put me under general anesthesia, I fell asleep like right away, and when I woke up, it felt like no time had passed. And I was there with bandages on my head and all these things happening around me, and the nurses moving me from here to there. I said, did it happen? Did it really happen? Did I get DBS? Well, when I got home, I realized I had about 10 holes around my body that I've been nursing for the last month or so. So it did happen. I have DBS. I have the DBS installed. It all happened in one surgery. It lasted about 5 to 6 hours. So everything went well. I got bilateral. So I was very fortunate to get the Boston Scientific with the rechargeable battery. under general anesthesia. Oh, I didn't have to cut my hair, so you might see my hair is a little long, and actually you can probably see some scarring there as well. But the head is still recovering from the surgery, so there's still some parts that are not quite all cured up, and so I haven't cut my hair yet, and I want to wait probably until at least another month before I do it. So my hair is going to get really shaggy, but you know, it's delicate. I don't want it like, you know, some amateur hairstylist to cut me accidentally or shave a little too close with the razor and cause some kind of infection. So I want to wait a little bit more and cut my hair in a little while. So on the 18th of December, I went in for my first programming, and they hooked me up to a device that was similar to my neurostimulator controller, which I'll show you in a second. And the DBS nurse programmed me on a computer, like a Windows Surface. So it's pretty cool. And she tried every lead, and they all worked. They all seemed to be properly placed. On my left side, I'm at 0.7 volts. On my right side, I'm at 1.7 volts. So that has to do with how strong the DBS is. And they said it may take 3 to 6 months or so to get me well sorted out with the programming. So it might take a while, but you know, it's part of the process. Trust the process. So let me show you some of the toys I got with the DBS. So first thing I want to show you is the DBS controller, and I have the box here. You can see what it looks like. I always tell people this looks like a little bit like a Nokia phone from the 90s. It kind of does. You'll see right now. They put it in a plastic sleeve. It's like a Wii controller type sleeve. It's this rubber or silicone sleeve around the controller. And if I turn it on, if I hit a button, it asks me to hold this other button on the right side to turn it on. So I can do that, hold it, I release, and it shows that it's on, the battery is full, so that's pretty cool. I want to change a setting. I can go in and go to the menus and change a little bit of the voltage, not too much. The DBS nurse said don't change it too much in the first outing. I upped it just a little bit, 0.1 volts on the left side and 0.2 volts on the right side because I was feeling a little bit sluggish, and that helped a lot actually. So she said I have a little bit of leeway to do that. So this big orange button in the middle is to turn the stimulator off, and I'm not going to do that because there are plenty of other channels where people are doing the spectacular, like, here's my stimulator off and here's my stimulator on. I don't want to do that. I love having the stimulator on, so I'm going to keep it on. So this comes with chargers and adapters of some sorts. So that's pretty cool. And that's that's the controller. And usually I can leave that at home. I don't really need to take it with me anywhere. The nurse said if I go to a concert or anywhere else with like big magnetic fields, like the airport, take the stimulator with me because the magnetic fields can actually turn the stimulator off, which is kind of scary. Be caught in the middle of nowhere with the stimulator off and no way to turn it back on. So if I go to a concert with like big speakers there or something, or go to the airport for any reason, I'll take the stimulator controller with me and I will make sure that it stays on. I can feel it when it's off, so I can always turn it back on if need be. So the next thing I want to show you is the battery charger. This is really cool. This is where I tell people I'm a cyborg now, which I kind of am. I mean, I have these implants here. I have the cable running down the side of my head. I can feel it down my neck, down here, into my chest. And it's on my right side because if I have to get a pacemaker for my heart in the future, I have the left side open to do that. So that's that. Now the battery is pretty cool. Battery, it's charging now, so this is kind of the battery part. I take it off, this is the battery, this is the charger. And they gave me this thing, which basically the battery goes in here, like that. There's a counterweight on the other side. All I have to do is turn the battery on. Turn the battery on. And it will beep until I put it over the stimulator. So now I'm charging. Pretty cool, right? Again, this is where I tell people I'm a cyborg, and I'm like the Borg in Star Trek or whatnot. It's, you know, it's kind of funny. Overall, the experience has been a good one. I'm really excited to have DBS. The recovery is slow, but it's getting there. And so I do feel a difference having this, the DBS on. I can turn around in bed much more easily than I used to, no doubt about it. And the best thing is I can walk comfortably. So this is not a cure. So I still have Parkinson's, and it's still the ups and downs, but there are fewer ups and downs. And the walking is just amazing. New Year's Day I went for a walk at the park right here near my house in Amsterdam, Vondel Park, which is like the central park of Amsterdam. And I could walk. I walked 10,000 steps at least, according to my Apple Watch. So that was pretty cool. And I didn't feel like exhausted. I didn't feel like my body was like tense. I didn't feel like my body was twisting. My lower back didn't hurt. So yeah, it's getting there. My hands are not quite as good as they could be yet. Right now I'm a little bit on because I had some Cinemet maybe about half an hour ago. I have a bit of dyskinesia at the moment, but overall, I've noticed my medication has kind of leveled out a bit. Taking smaller doses much more frequently, so I'm taking maybe about a quarter of 25-100 Cinemet. The number one thing I see on the support groups online is people asking people with DBS would they do it again. I think it's too early for me to tell whether this is going to be a huge success and if I'm going to be able to go back to work and all these different things. But so far, I would do it again. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's totally worth it. You know, after surgery, I had about a week where it was in really intense recovery. Had some swelling in my face, swelling in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, if I had to do it over again, bring it on, bring it on. I was, you know, positive throughout the process. I was laughing in the operating room. They asked me what I was there for, just to make sure I knew what I was doing. I said, "You're gonna put a couple holes in my head," and they said, "Yep, okay, yeah, he's ready." So as long as I have a positive attitude and I'm looking forward to more changes to come, I think so far so good. Anyways, that's my experience so far after about a month with DBS. So if you like this video, please subscribe down below, and I will have many more videos like this. I'll give you more updates about DBS. I have lots of videos about alternative therapies coming up. So like my channel, subscribe, hit that notification tab, everything you can do to support the channel, because this channel is for you. I'm giving you all my experience with Parkinson's, and I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that it's useful for you. Thank you very much.